Hi, Ben here at Numbergroup, here for the weekly blog. Introductions, my name's Ben, I am the Senior Support Technician at Numbergroup, and this week's blog subject is on technical features, all features that we find are not being used. We do develop our platform an awful lot, and we're constantly rolling out new features, but we find that a lot of the things we implement don't tend to get used. Even though certain customers request it and we think, it's a really good idea, we just don't seem to get much use out of those features. And so I thought it'd be useful if I went through a few of the things that we do offer. And obviously what I'll also do is I'll provide you with links up there, if I can, to videos on our channel which basically overlay that feature already, so you can get a bit more information about it. And and then obviously if I can't do that, there'll be links in the description below the video. So today I'm going to go over a few things. Some are new, some have been around a little bit longer, and hopefully at the end of this video you'll be aware of more of the features that we can offer. And if you're a current customer, then go away and use them. They're mostly all free, they're all included, so yeah, make use of them. They're there, we've developed them, so please go ahead and use them. So yeah, the things we're going to go over today are webhooks, call conferencing, IVRs, campaign analytics, time of day routing, and the Lunar mobile app. Okay, so the first thing we're going to go over is webhooks. Now this is a brand new feature, it hasn't been in there for long, so I would obviously understand people not using this feature yet. So but say any information is located up there. Link will take you to the introduction video for webhooks. But this is based in response to people requesting some way of integrating with CRMs and external programs and software. So we've built it in, and from what we can tell, this will work with the vast majority of programs out there. There are a few exceptions where we have to get around two-factor authentication and stuff like that, such as Salesforce's API, but other ones work fine. So Desk, we know, works fine. Other things like Slack and so forth, which will accept webhooks in from external sources, also appears to work fine as well. So yeah, this is very feature rich, and the only real limitation is your imagination of how to use it. If you follow the link before, that will take you through to an introduction video. There are also other videos which go over the setup procedure for a few examples. So I've included one for Desk, which is obviously Salesforce's support application, and Slack, which is a team-based instant messaging system which is quite popular at the moment. So yeah, please use that feature. If you have any questions about setting it up, it is quite complicated, I will freely admit that, and it's a bit daunting if you don't know what you're doing. That's fair enough. We're here to help. So if you want to try and do something through it and you can't figure out how to do it, or it won't work the way you want it to, then let us know. If you don't let us know, then we can't help you. But if you let me know, then I can go through it with you, and we can work through it together and we get it working for you. And then if we find any particular things that certain customers are trying to do all the time and they keep having problems with it, I'll do a support video for you to basically outline how to do it from there on out. So it should then cover that problem, and people can always refer back to that if they should need to. So the next thing that appears to be underused is the call conferencing system within the hosted PBX system. Once again, follow the link up there. It'll take you through to the video about the call conferencing setup and what it can do. So call conferencing in itself is fairly basic. You have a system where you can dial into and talk to multiple people at the same time. So you can normally do three-way conferencing through most IP phones these days, but this basically supports as many people as you can get into the conference without it being too noisy or whatever. It's free of charge for all hosted PBX customers, so if you use our hosted PBX system, you have access to it and you can make use of it. You can either work on a single repeatable conference, which has a fixed pin, so either public and private, or should I say moderator and sort of participant pins, I should say. And also you have a way of doing it so you can book individual conferences on the same extension as such. So if you know the hosted PBX system, you'll know that all the standard extensions start with a 1, groups start with a 2, conferences start with a 3. So you set up a conference, it will start off at 3001, 3002, and so on and so forth. If you want to have a particular number linked into, let's say, a conference, but wasn't always the same conference, so you could have multiple conferences with different suppliers, let's say during a day, you can use the system to basically book in your individual conferences with different things, and you can label them accordingly. And each one will have its own pin, so you would distribute them to the necessary people. They would dial in on the same number and then put their pin in at the allotted time that you say that the meeting is for, and then obviously they'll get in. Then obviously other people, if they try and ring in too early or too late, their pins won't work because their conference won't have started or have finished. So it's quite flexible from that point of view. But yeah, please use that as well. Most people charge extra for call conferencing. In fact, I know a lot of companies that pay an awful lot of money for an external company to do the call conferencing, and they will even insist you dial into high rate numbers, 0871 person numbers, 070 numbers, to make money back on the service they're providing. You can link this to any number you like. You can link to an 800 number, a geographic number. And it's technically classed as a termination to SIP. So if you get free SIP termination, the calls are free to you. So, it's even better. So please use it. The service is there. Say if you have any questions about it, then let me know. But it's pretty self-explanatory, and the video that I've already linked to goes through how to basically set it up. The next one I wanted to touch on is IVRs. Now, IVRs are used quite a bit, but we find that a lot of people who want them are probably put off by the complexity. Now, they can be a bit complex to set up, but I always say that the main problem people come is they don't plan it. If you plan what you want it to do, and you plan ahead, rather than just trying to make decisions as you're building it, you will find that it's a lot easier. So you draw up a plan of your internal departments, extensions, people, whatever, wherever you want the calls to eventually route to. You need to form a structure. Write it down on a piece of paper, draw it out, so you have a call flow and you have a branch structure, so you know where you want things to go. Once you've done that, you can look at it and say, okay, well, I need a prompt for each of these intersections, and then you can then either record them yourself or we can do that for you. And then once the prompts are done, you can then build your IVR. And obviously, the IVR structure can be multi-tiered, so you're not just linked to one layer. You can go multiple layers if you want to. And remember, your callers can navigate up and down through layers if needs be. It does need to be programmed into your IVR, but it is possible to do. So if you are having issues with setting up a particularly complicated IVR, then once again, let us know. We will obviously assist you in doing that. It's a nice feature, and it's a very, very useful feature, and makes you look very professional and gives the impression that you are, potentially larger than you are, and means you can obviously cut down number use. You don't have to have individual numbers for different departments. You can have one main number and route all your calls in through that if you should wish to do so. So yeah, IVRs. If you have any problems, let us know. But please use them. They're very, very useful. The next thing is campaign analytics. This was introduced a while ago now, and we have seen pretty limited uses of it. Now, I think in most cases people would say, well, this is more for inbound call centres and so on and so forth, for analysing where the calls are coming from and which, and so on and so forth. But there is more to it than that. If you're a company advertising yourself out there, advertising services, for example. Now, we obviously offer a lot of numbers. Most of the time, people get at least 5 or 10 numbers on their account. You can obviously have any numbers you like, 0800, geographic or whatever, and you can advertise those in different ways. So you could use some for online advertising, some for press advertising, some for magazines, some, you get the idea. And then you can use the analytics to basically see which numbers are generating you the most traffic. So you can see then, oh, hang on, well, say you can then go into your campaign analytics within self-care, and you can look at which numbers are generating the most traffic. And then you can say, well, okay, I seem to be getting nothing from my investment in magazines, but my online advertising is generating me a lot more traffic. So therefore, I'll put more money into my online advertising. And that's without the easy access information that the campaign analytics supplies, it's not easy to disseminate that information. But say if you use the analytics, it's all there. And you can also see the proportion of numbers and where the calls are coming from. So if you find that you're getting calls from a lot more mobiles from online and so forth, then maybe you can tweak your numbers to make sure that the calls are cheaper for those people, or for you even, for terminate the calls from mobiles. Or also, you can also make sure that if you're doing local press advertising and you get lots of calls from the local rate numbers, or the numbers that are local to that area, you know that that advert is working properly. If you're getting calls from random numbers, you'll think, okay, well, it's a bit strange, or you're getting no calls at all, then you think, okay, well, maybe that advert's not working, or maybe I need to tweak it, or maybe I just need to stop that advertising in general. So that's the whole point of the analytics. It's there to give you a breakdown and analysis of the calls that you are receiving into your system, and allows you to look at it, and also breaks it down across the day, so you can see when your volumes are higher and lower. So if you see that you're constantly getting high levels of calls at a particular time of day, and you're missing a lot of calls, because it will also tell you that if the amount that are answered are missed, you can say, okay, well, maybe I need more staff on then. Or maybe I need to have an overflow function there at those particular times of day, because that's when most people are calling. And so that's what the analytics allows you to do. It allows you to analyse your traffic and make business decisions based upon the traffic that's coming in, and allow you to properly plan ahead future advertisement and your plans to expand your company. So yeah, the analytics, it's in there. It's very easy to use and set up, and it's all there for free. Trunking customers, PBX customers, anyone and everyone has access to that. So please use it. The next thing I wanted to talk about was time of day routing. Now, this is a fairly basic feature. It's literally just allows you to have two separate translation settings for one number, one for an open time and one for a close time. It's fairly basic. So you specify when you're open, you specify when you're closed. You then have a routing option set up for when you're open, and routing option set for when you're closed. So what most people do is they will have their IVR set up during the day, or whatever, and obviously when people call up when they're open, they reach their IVR, they get their welcome message, and routes through their office departments and so on and so forth. When it comes to closed, however, you can literally just have a very basic thing where you can just have a message that says, sorry, our offices are now closed. Please call back at 9 o'clock when we're open again. Alternatively, please leave a message off tone, and you can have it go to voicemail. You can obviously have a completely different routing options there if you want to. So you can have a different IVR. You could have it going to a mobile, an out and about support mobile, for example, or whatever basically your company does. And once again, the time of day routing is available for all customers. So trunking, PBX, whatever, just simple NTS, it's there. So please use it. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it means that you don't have to worry about messing around in the evening forwarding calls from your phones in your office or whatever. Our system just does it all for you, and you can manually configure the time. So if you're open at odd times, so say you open between 6 a.m. and 2 p.m. in the afternoon, you can set the system to reflect that. Even like say so you've got the flexibility there to basically configure it for your own company's needs. So yeah, please use it, and if you have any issues setting it up or any questions about it, then once again, let us know. The final thing I wanted to talk about today was the Lunar PBX mobile app. Now, this was launched a few months ago and took a fair bit of time to get working and so on and so forth, but the take-up has been pretty slow. We are now by and large offering this free of charge to PBX customers. So if you are using the hosted PBX system, then we can give you access to it and you can use it. Basically, what it allows you to do is it is an application that you install on your smartphone, so either your Apple iPhone or your Android-based phone, and you configure it through scanning a QR code which you get from the portal, and the QR code automatically configures the phone, and basically then sets it all up, and it's just ready to go. And basically the app then works essentially as a soft phone emulating your extension, so always linked to your extension. So I've got an extension here at home. I also have the same extension registered on Luna. So what happens is that when that extension rings, my mobile rings. So I'm out of the office and I need to, and I don't have to worry about forwarding calls or anything like that. As long as I have a data connection on the mobile, the call will come through there. And it will come through on the app, and I can see it's coming through on the app, and I can answer it, and then I can talk to the customer as I would as if I was here at home using my desk phone. You can also call out from it as well using your number group numbers. So if people who use the PBX will be aware that you set a default presentation number. If you call out from the extension, it uses that number to present on the outbound call, and it's exactly the same with the Luna PBX app. If you call out using the application, it doesn't use your mobile number, it uses your number group number. So once again, you are getting service where basically you can take your business calls anywhere you want, and while yes it is on your mobile phone, it is not using your mobile phone network. And on that point, because it's using the data connection rather than the GSM or mobile audio network, the calls to you are exceedingly cheap because it's classed as a SIP termination rather than a mobile termination. So if you are sending all your calls to a mobile, you'll obviously know that we charge you to connect the calls from ourselves to the mobile phone in some cases. If you terminate it to the Luna PBX app, it's classed as SIP termination, which for most customers by and large is free or very low cost, a much lower cost than terminating it to a mobile. So you're saving yourself money there as well. Now people would say, okay, well, that's all very well and good, but why would I want to do that over the mobile network? Well, for one, if you're a paranoid person, which I don't know if you are or not, but you could be, in theory, your calls across the mobile network are not encrypted. They can be listened to, they can be eavesdropped, especially by the mobile network themselves. Now, I'm not trying to make it sound like that's happening, but it is feasibly possible. If you use Luna PBX app with hooked into our system, all the calls are encrypted as standard. So not even we can listen into them. So just to give you an idea, I can't listen to them. We can't listen to them. They are encrypted across our entire platform between your mobile and the edge of our network, so we cannot listen into your calls. So if you're talking sensitive data over the phone, you need not worry. It is secure. No one else can intercept it. And it's also just the ease of use. You scan a QR code, it auto configures, and it just works. And it's very reliable. We get HD audio across it, which is obviously better than what you'll get on most mobile networks these days. And the call costs are lower as well. So if you make calls out, it uses your number group plan, call costs and so forth. And if you've got bundled minutes, once again, that uses the bundled minutes too. So it's a very good feature. It's a very good program or app, I should say. And we would strongly encourage you, if you are using the Luna PBX system, to contact us, and we'll set it up for you, and you can use it and try it out, and you'll see here how easy it is to use, and how it makes your life much easier in the fact that you don't have to worry about forwarding calls and so forth from your extension in the office. If you take your mobile with you, it will always be with you. And if you're worried about it bothering you in the evenings, you can switch it off. You can just disable inbound calls, and so the app will not alert you when calls come in. So they'll still come through to your desk phone, but your app will not ring at all. And so you have control over it, and it has individual ringing preferences, volumes, and ringtones, and all that stuff. So you can configure it how you like. So yeah, so there's basically an overview of all the features that we supply, and we feel have not been taken up in any great volume. And I'm hoping that this video will hopefully make people aware of these features if they weren't already aware of them, or if people are using the system and they thought, I can't be bothered with that, they now know about them a bit more and think, yeah, I'll give that a try. So yeah, by all means, if you have any more questions, let us know, please do. But if you want to use any of these features, please get in contact with us, and we can obviously arrange getting them set up for you, and then you can use them. So so that's it. That's it for this week. If you've enjoyed these videos or you find them useful, then please subscribe, and we'll obviously get notified when I upload more videos onto the platform. And see, there'll be a link to other videos across here as well, which maybe will come on. And so yeah, if you enjoy the video, please subscribe, and also like the video. If you have any comments on the video, then please leave them below. Any further information will be in the description below the video, and I'll catch you next week for the next blog.